Welcome back to the 50th episode of the Two Guys, Two Seamen podcast. I am Brian. I am back. Still under the weather, but back from the flu. And I am joined today with Chad and welcome back, Michael, too. What's up, guys?
Yo, I may not have been returning from the flu. I have a pregnant wife, and she wanted to go to Santa Cruz, and just couldn't tell her no, so I had to take her to Santa Cruz.
Sounds like a good time.
I mean, it was beautiful weather. We'd been getting hit with rain, and somehow we had like spring weather. And she's like, "We gotta go now." And there's like a burger place she loves there, so I'm like, "Okay." The unborn baby's already telling us we gotta go. So, what are you gonna do?
Might as well get used to it now, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the flu sucks. And apparently my doctor told me that I was the 8th person that day to be diagnosed with the flu.
8th, huh?
So
Damn.
It's going around a tremendous rate right now. So if
Did you have your flu shot?
Never get it.
Never get it?
Never get. Last time I got the flu shot, I got the flu. Funny how that works. I don't want to get into that. I'm not get into that. I'm just saying.
You don't want to get in vaccine debate?
No, we're not. No.
Not Joe Rogan.
I don't have the energy for that. No. No, I have had the flu twice in my life. So, last time I had a flu shot, I was 18. So, 18, twice in 18 years, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I had it last year during my wedding. That was pretty rough. I could barely stand.
So I promise the audience that we're not going to talk about the flu the whole time. So
if we want to, we can talk about famous people playing with the flu. Famously known as the goat.
Goats.
Yeah, goats that had the flu and playoff game.
I could self-label if I want, but I'm not getting paid millions. So
oh yeah, well, yeah, because we're talking about you. That's what.
A little different,
Yeah.
A little different.
Exactly.
But
right.
No, we're gonna discuss some. I think we're gonna touch base on a lot of different sports here. So, but let's start with the most popular sport in America today, the NFL. A lot of NFL news down the pike, and NFL Combine is underway tomorrow. So we'll have a lot of things to talk about come Saturday, I'm sure.
Do you watch it, or do y'all just look for like the highlights on Twitter?
Yeah, usually you just see if somebody sets a record or who are the fastest guys.
Yeah.
I mean, the scouts will tell us which ones are that are standing out.
Who do you think is gonna be a bust in the combine? I know that. Yeah, I don't know, like, because Harrison and
Nabers,
yeah, Nabers are sitting out.
I haven't seen a list of who is and who isn't, so
it's a big trend. Like a lot of big.
Tom Brady was a bust at the combine.
True. I mean, it's not the end all be all. I mean, Anthony Richardson had like the best stats for a quarterback at the combine, but he
got hurt.
Yeah, but he's injury prone. That makes his abilities translate into him running a lot.
The combine is a made-for-TV event nowadays, and it's honestly more of a place where the general managers can discuss trades, possible, swaps of picks. They're wheeling and dealing, and I think the top players, they'll do pro days or private workouts, and they're already making money. NIL, their agents are guiding them in their best financial paths according to their agent.
So speaking of that, what are your all's opinions on the Bears going to give up the number 1 pick?
No. I saw something on Twitter that said that the Ravens, not Ravens, the Falcons, I think, are minus 250 now. Like, it's almost like a done deal that he's being traded. So I would say
that Justin Fields.
Yes, Justin Fields is being traded. So I don't. Yeah, I see him keeping the first pick, and then drafting Caleb Williams, and then he's gonna be a bust because he's a crybaby.
Yeah, what happened to the whole "I'm not gonna play for Chicago" thing? Like,
apparently it was
just
not
kind of go
real,
under the,
or someone took that out of context or something like that, and it wasn't really him that said that. It was his camp that said
JJ
that.
McCarthy going to the Bears.
Because that kind of just went way under the table, right? Like, it was I mean, that makes sense. If it's not true, that's why it went away so quickly.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, once they trade Fields, I mean, it's like almost a guarantee, unless they take Jaden Daniels or something. Something happens in Combine or the Pro Day, and they see something different from Caleb.
I mean, to be honest, though, Michael can speak on this. Chicago, Southern California, it's a hell of a life change.
Yeah.
Going from Southern California to Chicago. But I mean, it'll be his team, so I don't know why he wouldn't want to. But like you said, Chad, he is a little bitch.
And if he wants to have ownership of the Bears, he needs to become a Green Bay Packer. So
yeah, he's gonna have to grow thicker skin if he wants to play in Chicago. Not like they've had the franchise quarterback anytime.
He's gonna have to. He's on a 31-year wait list then, if he wants ownership in the Packers.
No, he has to just play for the Packers. Packers quarterbacks
That's not gonna happen.
Own the Bears.
That's not gonna happen.
Will the Bears ever get a quarterback that just works?
No.
Right. I believe that to be true as well. It's unfortunate. They've had some really good defenses throughout history, but man, quarterback, it's not their forte.
Nope. But they did have Matt Forte.
They did have Matt Forte. He was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Do we think it's a 1-2-3 quarterbacks off the board?
Yeah. I think so.
Pretty solid.
Mean, all three of them need it.
That's true. I think as much as the Bears need a quarterback, I think that out of those 3 teams, I think Jaden Daniels has the best opportunity to win next year.
You think so?
I
mean, the Bears
compared to where the teams were this year, I think that he has the better chance.
But I think that the 3 Bears, because the Bears have they weren't terrible. I mean, they're at the 9th pick, but like they ended the season okay, and with Justin Fields, and now they're gonna have a quarterback who can throw the ball downfield and actually be a pocket passer, and it's the same head coach. The Commanders and the Patriots have different head coaches now, and that's a wild card to me.
But the Bears also have, like, outside of the head coach, that whole offensive side of the ball, coaching wise, is different.
Yeah,
completely different. So the head coach might be the same, but the whole offensive staff is different.
Well, yeah, you're trying to start new for a new quarterback. So
right.
if you're thinking about not keeping the guys for the next after the next year, you'd probably just want to find new ones.
Right.
And not have to switch with Caleb if he is the first one.
do you all see any of your teams trying to trade up?
I see my team trading out of, if anything. The Chargers could definitely use some draft capital.
Be smart.
I definitely think they need to take advantage of the Rays cap space. They got a bigger chunk of the salary cap back, so if you can maybe pair another free agent signing and get a couple extra draft picks.
What if you could get Rome Odunze? Or I don't know.
Yeah. Or Nabers.
Like
Nabers
what, with Justin Herbert?
I would take Nabers or Odunze. I might even like Nabers more than Odunze. I've seen some good things from him. He looks fast, and we haven't had a fast wide receiver ever that's been successful. The best one that comes to mind is Travis Benjamin. The guy could not catch the ball.
Yeah, he couldn't.
He did make that one catch on that famous comeback against the Chiefs. Like he caught like this miraculous 4th down conversion. That was the peak of his career. But yeah, I would like to see the Chargers get some sort of speed. I see you have the mock draft on here. We see them taking an offensive tackle, which
according to Mel Kiper this morning. So
we'll see. I don't know. I do know Jim Harbaugh is going to want to emphasize running the ball, and if he's seen how bad our offensive line is at run blocking, maybe offensive tackle's not a bad place to start.
So
I think the Vikings could trade up.
Yeah, what's up with?
I don't know if they're going to sign
Mel Kiper
Kerr.
saying that you all need a defensive end.
I don't know. I saw that and I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like,
is the quarterback a lock for Kirk?
I think that's what he's trying to say. But
why not try to take McCarthy if he's available?
Right? You never know.
Kevin O'Connell just endorsed Kirk Cousins. Kevin O'Connell gave him his seal of approval. I don't think they're looking for another quarterback.
Okay, I mean, if that's true, then again, I don't know.
That's going to cost $45 million. He wants $45 million, which is a lot of money for 1 year.
Well, you just got a little extra cap space. Well,
and
you guys want to trade up,
and you're not getting a quarterback.
No, you're gonna trade up, get a good offensive tackle, send Justin Jefferson to the Chargers, and we'll take your pick. And boom.
Yeah, that's
deal.
It?
Shake on it.
Okay, and then your next 3 first-round picks as well.
No, maybe one of them. Maybe one of them.
At least 2. Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson. Have you looked at his stats?
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah, they're okay.
He didn't win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, he has the most yards since 2020 of all players.
That's with Kirk throwing him the football.
Yeah, throwing behind him, above him.
Imagine what happens if he had an accurate quarterback like Michael has, throwing him the football.
You remember that catch he had to make against Indianapolis?
Oh, no, I'm not taking anything. No. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying.
I'm copying what you're saying.
He's one of one.
It's insane. It's insane the catches he has to make just to get those yards.
Yeah, he's, in my opinion, he's best receiver in football. I mean,
yeah, I don't think there's any debating. When he's healthy, he's the best.
Yeah.
Except his contract's running up. His rookie contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna get paid.
Hopefully by us. I don't know.
I'd like to see the Packers move up, but it's rare that they do. I do like the idea that us drafting a tackle because we can't trust Bakhtiari to stay healthy anymore. We got to get a solid replacement in there at left tackle, and I think that Jordan Morgan would be a good fit. But why not try to trade up maybe 10 spots, maybe 12, see what's there. But it's rare for the Packers to do that. So as much as I want to see it, I don't know if it will happen.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, the Packers just don't do. That's just like not their style at all. They don't.
No,
they,
man.
That's just what happens when you're owned by a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
Very
Still have a
vanilla.
GM
Don't take
vanilla.
any risks. No
decisions.
risks.
I know, but they still very vanilla always. They don't really make any. The only time they make splash deals or like something crazy in the draft is when they pissed Aaron Rodgers off a bunch of times. And Brett Favre. They like to piss off their franchise quarterbacks.
Yeah,
That's
they
about
like
it.
to taunt them. It's like,
Yeah, well,
hey,
at
guess
least
what? This guy's in the rafters waiting.
We're at least 15 years from them doing that again. So to our quarterback. So I don't have to worry about that for a while. And we're healthy. If healthy, these wide receivers that we have, those can be some scary weapons, especially with Watson at 6'4", 6'5", running a 4.3. I mean, that's scary speed for his size.
Yeah, he's crazy fast, but you just gotta catch the ball.
He's got to stay healthy. He's had a lot of
Sure.
hamstring issues, so that's not good for a young guy.
Nope.
One of the most exciting piece of news that have come out in the last couple days. Jets have given Zach Wilson permission to seek a trade.
Good for him.
Who the fuck is going to trade for him?
They may give him
Who?
so a team may give up like a shoestring or a paper clip and like $1 and
a sleeve of water cups,
and they're like a 7th string punter that they're gonna just sign just so that they can trade for Zach Wilson. Yeah, he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna garner more than a 7th round pick. And like 3 years from now, like he's not.
Yeah, he better get used to holding the clipboard.
Yeah.
I mean, is he even valuable at that? I mean, he's so bad at the position that can he even offer advice?
He's somewhat athletic, but yeah, he's.
He could probably.
He seems like he's a little in over his head when it comes to being the quarterback of an NFL franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in the New York market. Yeah. Okay. Send him to Charlotte or something.
They should.
Maybe not Charlotte, but
how about this?
Just you get
sign Flacco as your backup. Trade Wilson, get Flacco.
Yeah. Any word on him?
I think he's gonna come back.
Made any decision?
I think he's gonna come back.
Zach Wilson to the XFL.
There we go. Hey, I'm okay with that.
He can hold. He can hold a clipboard there.
To the UFL.
Yeah, he can hold a clipboard
he can be
there.
A backup to AJ McCarron. Backup to a backup.
All right, a couple things came out from Chiefs land, and they're releasing MVS, which, not a big surprise. They got out of him what they could. He dropped some passes, but he made some key plays in the Super Bowl run, especially that deep pass.
Kadarius Toney's the previous postseason's role, because that's crazy. Toney's got 2 Super Bowl rings and one where he was like a healthy scratch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then Chiefs are going to use their tag on L'Jarius Sneed. Smart move or no?
Yeah, because they're going to trade him.
Yeah, I guess if that's
what.
Now you have to. Now you have to get.
That's what they're doing. That's what they said. They're giving him permission to seek a trade.
They'll be wanted. There'll be some teams
for sure
that'll be flocking to them.
Oh yeah, it's like basically a free agent at this point now.
Yeah,
he's basically a free agent to go sign with another team. Obviously they're going to trade for him, but I think it's good for the Chiefs. Gives them some value.
For sure.
They weren't going to have before. Not good for Michael because they're probably going to get more picks and draft even better players.
Get a couple of wide receivers in there.
Oh my God, can you imagine Mike Evans there?
That'd be I don't want to go down that road.
Evans and Mahomes, yeah. I somebody floated that out there in the offseason. I heard it on Sports Talk. I was like, oh man, please don't put that out there into the atmosphere. That sounds like a lethal combination.
That would be definitely lethal. He's never had an under 1,000-yard season
It'd be like Brady with Moss.
without the
Yeah.
speed.
Without
But
the
yeah.
speed. Obviously
Mike
without
Evans.
speed, but I'm talking about touchdowns. Because Mike
Sure.
Evans
Oh,
can
yeah.
catch some touchdowns.
Could you
I mean,
imagine
he did have Brady too, and he
him
went
and
off.
Kelsey on the field? Ooh. That's a dangerous matchup there. Can't even guard Kelsey now.
Yeah.
Do you imagine having an all-pro receiver again?
Should
All
not
right.
be allowed.
So a couple days ago, the
Oh, it has
NFL.
one more thing about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Chiefs.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Chiefsaholic pled guilty to the bank robbery charges. I don't know if you all know about Chiefsaholic, but he's the guy that wears like the full chief like wolf thing. He wears this like wolf costume, and his name is Chiefsaholic. What he does is he goes and robs banks, and then goes to the games. And he was well known, and then he got caught, and then I think he escaped, and he got caught again. So now he just pled guilty. He's like, I'm done running.
Faces up to 50 years.
Yeah, 50 years.
$100,000,
Yeah.
11 banks
Oh my
across
God.
7 states.
Yeah, this
Laundering the proceeds through casinos.
Yeah, I think he put a bet on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, and it hit.
I was wondering how these fans get all this gear all the time. You know, that makes sense. You rob a bank.
Yeah.
You know.
Xavier Babudar.
Yeah. Chiefsaholic, you're going away for a while, bud. Sorry, it was a good run. You had a good run.
Must have been fun while it lasted.
I hope he doesn't get like basically life in prison. I hope he doesn't get like 50 years. That'd be sad. But I think if they let him go, I think he might just keep robbing banks and going Chiefs games. Sorry, that's all I had on the Chiefs.
No, all good. I didn't even know about that. So yesterday the NFL competition committee met in reference to the kickoff. Here we go again. Another kickoff rule, meeting. Just, I don't know what the alternative is other than go back to the way it used to be. But they're never going to do that.
I say the kickoff from the 30, and the players don't move until the ball's kicked off, and they all stand in a line 5 yards apart, and then they run down, and then they try to block. So you're not like no full-on head collisions or anything like that. You have to slow down to like block people. You know, it's not gonna be like, I don't know. That's my idea, just so you can have a kickoff, because right now there's the 98% of the fucking kickoffs are touchbacks. The kickers kick it through the fucking end zone almost every time, especially if they want to.
I'm just going to round up, make it easier to understand. Of the 2,700 kickoffs this past season, 587 of them were returned.
Not many.
So that's not many. That's 1 in every 5 or 6. I mean, that's terrible.
And I'm sure the ones who were getting them returned didn't do the kickoffs very long, because I'm sure coaches only want the kickers who can get touchbacks. Yeah. They're like,
right.
Hey, everybody else is kicking touchbacks. Why aren't you? Stop it.
But they claim they're expecting a change to happen for this upcoming year. So I don't know if the change brings more excitement, because they're all about preventing injury. So I don't know how you can't leave it the way it is. I mean, there's no point in the play.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
What's the purpose if it's just going to go in the back of the end zone every time?
Yeah, they need to move it back for sure because they moved it up. I mean, it was at the 30 before, and then they moved it up to the 35 for player safety. Everything's for player safety. I get it, but like you can change the game and still make it enjoyable to watch instead of watching the ball go through the uprights on a kickoff. I mean, they don't all go through the uprights, but sometimes they do.
What do you think, Michael? What do you think
Well, I kind of like what Chad was saying. I don't know. Is that how the XFL does it? I think I was reading on here. It's like they kick it off, and then the other team can't move until the player actually touches the ball.
Oh yeah, it's something
Which
like
definitely
that.
gives you bigger returns. But I mean, whatever. Screw it. That means there's going to be more scoring, more touchdowns, more teams are going to have shorter fields.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure the NFL wouldn't be upset about. Fantasy football fans would be upset about that. All your players get 50 yards closer to the end zone every time.
All right. Anything else you all wanted to bring up with the NFL before we move on?
No, we talked about a little bit about the mock draft, but
yeah, we'll save the rest of NFL talk for the post combine.
I mean, this is going to change. This is going to change so much in the next.
I will say, I would like to see Brock Bowers teamed up with Aaron Rodgers for a season.
I was going to say with
see how
Justin
that goes.
Herbert, right? Justin Herbert hasn't had a true number one tight end yet. Oh man.
Yeah, I understand the needs of teams are different, but Brock Bowers being 10th is low for me. He's a special talent. I don't know how much of the games you all saw him play, but
no, he's a beast.
Early
draft picks had him going to the Chargers. That's why I wouldn't be upset if he was drafted by the Chargers. I could see him being very useful with Herbert.
Yeah,
but Aaron Rodgers could any quarterback would be useful with him. He's going to be
yeah.
I don't know. I think he's a better prospect than Kyle Pitts was. Pitts was just fast, but I don't know. He also could have just been screwed by Arthur Smith.
It's very possible. So speaking of people getting screwed, let's jump to the NBA. And Chad and I know this. I'm sure you've heard us talk about it a lot, Michael. Officiating in the NBA is getting out of hand faster and faster and faster. The more we talk about it, the more it's getting out of hand. I don't know what's happened, if anything controversial has happened tonight, but a couple nights ago, Pistons at the Knicks, just atrocious. The fact that they could have two guys collide, one hitting the other one in the midsection, and that causes a loose ball situation, and there's no foul called. Zero. I mean, it's rugby out there.
Yeah, it literally looked like it. It literally looked like he was about to spear him, and I'm like, holy shit! And then they didn't call a foul, and then the Knicks had the ball, and they're like, oh shit, we got the ball now. I think they were surprised because they didn't call a foul.
You know what it kind of reminded me of, and Michael, you should remember this one. Back in 2006, when Nash got mugged by the Lakers on basically the same area. Remember, he got mugged in the playoff game right there, and he lost the ball, and Kobe Bryant went down and made a layup to tie the game.
Yeah, no, I mean it's happened a couple times to Nash. One time he got his got
body
punched,
checked into.
punched by Bowen.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
Yeah. Was he the one that was body checked into the scoreboard, or was that somebody else? Steve Nash.
That was him. That was him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
He had some brutal collisions in the playoffs.
Yeah. But Chad, what's the purpose of these 2-minute reports?
There's no
It
point.
doesn't.
It's
It doesn't
just
prove anything.
it's just a statement they
doesn't-
put out that owners are just supposed to be like, oh, they recognized it. It's okay. No, it's not fucking okay. Do something about it. Don't put out a fucking report. They don't care. Adam Silver is just gonna sit on his ass.
Yeah, you need to start putting like marks on those refs, like report cards or something. I know they're a union, but I mean, like, say, hey, you accumulate X amount of missed calls, especially crucial ones. You're going to be suspended for several games until you figure out how to not be
without
such an
pay.
asshat.
So
I think it should be without pay.
Are
for sure.
refs full-time refs? Are these full-time refs? Like
Yes.
they don't have any other jobs other than being
No.
refs.
NBA refs.
They have they should be good at their job. They should be able to make easy calls like that. It's not hard calls to make. It's very blatant and easy. And then the crucial part of a game.
We do complain about pretty much all the sports refs. You know, baseball, we complain about the umps, strike zone. Eventually, when you get in the heat of baseball, the NFL, there's always a controversial call by the refs. One team gets favored or the other. You know, left tackle gets the jump start.
NBA is
It's
so
just
subjective, though.
It
Yeah, NBA, it can definitely. Well, you know what ruined the NBA is all the damn European players coming over here and starting flopping, and it's just made it so much harder for refs to have to deal with it on a night in, night out basis. If we didn't have all these guys
guys from Europe to get back,
no, they need to stop. We need we need them to stop.
Hi, Giannis.
They need to start being more hard.
Jokic.
They tried to stop the flopping, right? They put a rule in, and then they just stopped giving a fuck about calling that penalty because there's so much flopping still going on. Like if you're clearly leaning your body into somebody to get a penalty, like that should be. I feel like that needs to be not promoted. You need to like start playing straight up, man. I feel like that would be a way to cure it if you're gonna like want to help the refs out a little bit, and maybe you can also hold the refs accountable by showing them doing something with these 2-minute reports.
Fine
I'm just saying,
fine them, start fining them like a decent amount of money to make them do their job. Don't you do that to the NBA players when they're out of line? You fine them, you fine them and fine them, you fine them. You fine them for stuff they do on the court too. So fine the refs instead of just putting out a report. Put out a report that says that you're fining their asses.
Hey, you know, so and so is suspended 8 games without pay because of this crucial call that he missed.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to talk about the refs. None of the NBA players or coaches are not. They're not supposed to talk about the refs. They have immunity to everything. Like they're a god or something, and they're infallible. It's crazy. I mean, that's how it is like every sport, but it's so dumb. That's the dumbest shit. You can't criticize the refs.
Yeah, and Michael, what you were saying about the flopping, now it's an art. Now it's those players are trained now how to sell contact. Like that's part of their training.
I know that's bad,
which is really bad for the sport. But kind of like and I don't agree with this. I never understood it. But in college basketball, when you get a flagrant foul or a technical foul, it also counts as a personal foul. So if you foul someone, that's already one foul. If they upgrade it to a flagrant, that's 2 fouls for the same thing. Right? So if you start implementing something like that on these players for flopping, like an additional foul during the game, that might help. You know, finding these players especially the big time money makers, that the fines aren't enough for it to make a difference to them. Now, I will say, watching as much NBA as I have this year, I have noticed that flopping is down.
Yeah, it's definitely gone down.
It's not as prevalent as it once was.
That's for sure.
But you still see these. I'm gonna hook this player, so he has to react in order for me to get the contact sold. There's stuff like that. But it's similar to hand checking in football. It's just there's gonna be contact where people are gonna sell it, and that's just what it is. But this whole the refs have to be held more accountable for this, because it's getting way out of hand.
And
I'm not saying it's getting to
Don't
the
forget
point.
the floppers.
Yeah, those dirty floppers.
I'm not
Everybody
I'm
needs
not
to be held
getting
accountable for.
I'm not going as far as saying that these referees are gambling on the game. I'm not going that far.
No, I'm not either, because I think they're just
but
dumb. I just think they're just bad refs.
I
think they're just bad at their job.
So I just looked it up because you had asked earlier, Chad, but I wanted a number. There's 74 full-time referees
Okay.
in the NBA. Okay. With that, most of them have less than 8 years of experience. So it's a lot of newer. In 8 years, oh man, that sounds like a lot. It is. I mean, that's a lot of years. That's a lot of games to referee. But they're also doing G League games too, so it's not just the NBA games that they're refereeing. But I think that something has to be done, because it's starting to affect people watching the game, and you can't have that. You can't have something like this affect. What happened when the NFL had replacement refs? Fans lost their damn minds.
Yeah, well, that's
And
something you have
then-
to consider if you're suspending refs too, because what are you going to do with the ref when he's gone? You got to replace that ref, right?
But I will tell you, I don't know if you all remember.
Refs.
Do you all remember the following season once the real refs came back in the NFL? It was great.
I felt like it was
It was great.
like night and day.
It was
better.
It was great. So maybe you need that reset. You still have some of those old referees that are, they've been doing it since the 90s. Scott Foster's one of them. Tony Brothers is another. Just you still have some of those older guys. And I don't want to say it, but there's too many women referees in the NBA. It's too much. They are causing too many technicals this season because of normal reactions to things.
Dude, I've seen so many stupid technicals this year. It's been unbelievable.
Ones.
I've been watching. This is the most NBA I've watched in like the last probably 4 or 5 years, regular season, and it is bad. Like Jason Tatum gets technical at least once a game for no reason.
He has the infamous he's got to clap his hands, just once.
Yep.
When he's upset about something, he got teed up for that.
Yep. He got teed up. He wasn't clapping at anyone. He wasn't clapping.
No, he was just upset about the play. He was upset, and that's it.
Or he slams the ball and picks it right back up, gets it right back.
Yeah.
And that's a technical. It's ridiculous. It needs to end.
Can we get Joey Crawford back in the league?
Something.
Throw some hammers down, because that guy. I don't know. Something needs to be done. So Steve Kerr inked an extension. It has now become the highest paid NBA coach in history. 2 years, $53 million.
Wow.
His extension.
because he lives in
lot.
California.
Yeah. Sure.
You need that extra money to
I think
offset the cost of living out here.
4 titles also helps. You know.
That also helps.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little. But it also lines up with Steph's final 2 years of his contract. So, I we've been talking about it the last couple of years. I know they just won the title 2 years ago, but
You're getting old.
looks like that era's coming to an end.
They're getting
you know.
old now.
They are. Clay is not the same. He's been benched. Now, I will say, coming off the bench, he's playing much better.
Yeah, he's had some good games off the bench.
Yes.
Jordan Poole got benched in Washington.
Yeah, what a disaster that guy is.
He is bad.
Really bad.
Good job, Warriors.
Draymond was right on that one.
Yeah.
But we did have an exciting NBA game last night. The Cavs, man, they were I think they were down. They were down 10 with 2 minutes left, I think, is what I saw. And Max Strus hit 4 threes in those 2 minutes. Including the game winner, where he chucked a almost 60-footer.
It was crazy.
It went in.
Crazy shot.
The craziest part about that is that Mitchell and Garland are on the bench because they were subbed out for defense to play on that final possession where PJ Washington got the dunk.
Yeah.
They were subbed out for that, and they didn't have any timeouts, so that's all they had was Strus. That was it. They could shoot. So
Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
that was a great game to watch there at the end. I tell you, did you watch that game, Chad?
No, I just caught the that.
Hey,
Yeah, I saw the highlight. Yeah, multiple times. It's pretty impressive.
Kyrie Irving and Luka. That is a scary, scary duo.
Yeah.
I know they lost last night, but what they're doing, I mean, Luka's averaging 34 point, almost triple double.
No, the Cavs are good though. The Cavs are really good.
No. Yeah. I'm not. They haven't been great lately, but they are a good team. Watching Kyrie is just.
He's still
it's
really
almost
good.
like watching. It's like watching a play almost.
Yeah.
It's just.
His handles
can't believe
are
it's
the
real.
best. He has the best handles in the NBA.
Yeah.
Like by far.
It's not even close.
It isn't. Like Kyrie is generational handles.
Yes.
100%. That dude, as much as I fucking hate him, he's a piece of shit, but I still like his handles. It's just, you can't, it's crazy. Makes
Did
me
you
mad.
guys know that tonight is the end of an era? It's the
End of an
last
era.
time ever the Lakers and the
Clippers. Yeah,
will play at Crypto/Staples. Because next year, Clippers are going to be in their new Intuit Arena.
Yep.
Over there.
They'll be in next year.
Next year.
They're not sharing. It's going to be. They're going to have
gonna be
their
ready
own
then?
arena. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be ready in the October.
I saw it in the NFL season. The outside of it looked pretty complete.
Really?
So I assume it's probably not too far from being done.
Wow. And he's using his own money too, which is pretty crazy.
I mean, he's got Microsoft money.
Yeah. Plenty
The
of it.
city pays for it anyway. The taxpayers pay for it.
No, he paid out of pocket for it.
Well, yeah, up front maybe, but he's definitely gonna be getting that money back through the taxpayers. I mean, that's how most stadiums work.
Yeah, most
I don't know,
stadiums
maybe
are
he's a
paid
good
by
guy.
the taxpayers.
Yeah.
They are.
Maybe he's a good guy. Maybe he'll just foot the bill.
I mean, if
And
he's
they
gonna make a
changed
shit ton of money on it.
They used to be the San Diego Clippers, and a Clipper is like a ship. So their new logo is actually like paying homage to their roots in San Diego.
Yeah, they're changing their logo too. Yeah.
Yeah, their section, their special section called the Wall. It's it has sensors in the seats to determine how loud you are, and the louder you are, the more discounts you get at the places to eat around the stadium.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lose your voice, but eat all the food you want.
And if you don't abide by the rules, you can be kicked off the wall.
Huh.
It sounds stupid, but it's real.
I mean, technology, right?
Yep.
All right, Chad. Let us hear it about your team.
Oh, the Celtics? Oh, you mean the best team in the
Yeah.
NBA? Yeah, they won their 9th straight last night, and they are the best in the league. I've been watching a lot of games, and this game was different because it was like 89-91, and then all of a sudden I looked up, it was like 105 to 89. I was like, what?
Oh my
Well,
God.
that got out of hand quick. So they turned it on. I mean, they were shooting like shit. Shooting from three, like they were terrible. I don't think they only made like 5 or 6 threes. So it was pretty
Yeah,
rough.
but they shoot the most in the league.
Yeah, they shoot the most, but that was one of their worst nights. That's the lowest they've had all season, I think. But they found a different way to win. So I don't think that any team in the NBA is going to beat them in a seven game series. Do you all think? You don't think this is the Celtics to win or Celtics to lose, or?
In the East, they definitely should not lose. Definitely not.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Milwaukee is on thin ice. They are dry. I just looked at the standings. I didn't realize that Cleveland was in second place.
Mm-hmm.
That Milwaukee has been playing so bad.
I wonder why.
That they've
couldn't be Doc Rivers.
Dropped out. Yeah, you think? Just awful.
I'm currently watching the Nuggets play right now. They're looking pretty good.
Nuggets are very good.
Yes, I was gonna say in the West. So this kind of, the Celtics remind me of this year is the Nuggets last year. Nobody's talking about them. They're just kind of, doing their thing. They're winning at home. They can't lose at home. It's kind of what the Nuggets were doing last year. Everybody's talking about, it's so congested in the West, from 5 through 10, and they're just what can Milwaukee do to fix themselves? Boston's kind of under the national news. Really, they're not really being talked about. They're not being pushed.
They're not at
like
all.
they should be. Which is kind of like the Nuggets were last year. So, and then what happened in the playoffs? Nuggets steamrolled everybody.
Yeah.
they just annihilated.
I saw a preview of what their lockdown defense can look like come playoff time. And like I said, they went on like a crazy run where the Sixers just could not score. Lockdown defense, Derek White. Derek White is probably my favorite player. He's so awesome. He just is everywhere. He hustle. He's got the hustle of Marcus Smart and like the brain of he's incredibly smart in what he does and makes really good decisions. That's really important. Yeah, I love the team. I can't wait. I can't wait for the playoffs.
I will say that if there's one team that you don't want to overlook when it comes to the Eastern side, it's Indiana.
Yeah.
They can be sneaky good, and Halliburton is just he's on another level this year, which is crazy because he was on an unbelievable level last year. The Bucks are out, in my opinion. They're just out.
Yeah, the Bucks are bad. The Bucks
Doc
are.
Rivers is there now.
He's
They're out.
ruined them. I
Yes.
think they'd be better without a coach. Do they need a coach? They got Damian Lillard. He's been there. He's been in the NBA how long? They got Giannis that can run everything. They got Brook Lopez. He's been in there forever. Like, they got the guys to run it. Do you really need a head coach?
Brook went to Stanford, man. He's really smart. I'm sure he could run the team.
Absolutely. You don't really have. You have assistants. You can have assistants help like run plays and like do stuff and like. But you could have. I don't know.
High pick and roll with Dame and Giannis. It's very simple basketball.
And have just have your everyone on the 3-point line. Giannis.
Yeah, have Middleton and Lopez on opposite corners.
Yeah, and then those are kickouts, almost guaranteed buckets, and that's it. That's all you have to do. One of those options is gonna work.
Fully healthy too. You might want to watch out for the Knicks. Fully healthy with OG Anunoby there now. And they're defensively they can be pretty good.
Yes, I agree.
So and they're tough. It's that New York tough.
May never even play them though. Who knows?
That's true. But to be honest with you, in the East, you all should steamroll the East. I'd be surprised.
Maybe the Heat turn it on like they did last year.
Is where's Jimmy Butler at? I haven't heard a word. Is he playing?
I heard that there was a fight between.
I don't even know.
There was a fight between the Heat and another team, and a bunch of people got suspended. Maybe the Spurs. I don't know. It's Jimmy Butler
Raptors
just falling off the face of the earth. It seems like this season.
Yeah, I don't understand it, but I will tell you, just be thankful you're not in the West, because the West is, I think they're pretty top heavy. The top 4 teams, Minnesota, OKC, Denver, and the Clippers.
Yeah, they're all.
I think
really
the Clippers would be the toughest matchup for you all in the finals. From a whole team standpoint.
Yeah,
but it also depends on which James Harden shows up.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get fat James Harden.
I definitely do not. You don't want to play the Nuggets.
No.
Jokic is unbelievable. He's unguardable. Yeah. Literally unguardable. Which is crazy because he's very unathletic.
Yes.
He just runs around and runs the team, just like flipping the ball around. If he's not going to make it, he passes it out, and everybody else is open because they're all worried about what he's doing.
Right. The Joker knows 3 things. He knows, or 4 things, sorry. He knows how to pick, he knows how to roll, he knows how to pass, and he knows how to shoot the 3. And then... the pick
and horse shots too, like
yes, and it just looks
some of the craziest,
like way over the head like this, and you're just like, how the fuck does he shoot it like that? You can't even block it.
I just saw a stat on the screen. He just got his 4th straight triple double, and he's 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter in this game.
Oh my god,
he's on fire right now. I mean, the whole team is, but. Thanks to him.
They're scary.
I think the loss of Bruce Brown, though, is going to hurt them come playoff time.
I'm okay with it. I just don't see the Celtics the way they rebuilt the team. I don't see losing the title in 7. I mean, we've got 7 games, so.
If there's a year to do it,
yep,
it's this one.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't. I'm not going to say you couldn't have an easier way to the finals in the East, but with how good you all are playing, it's easy. It should be easy, Is
all this going to come back and bite me in the ass? Probably. Because that's the way it works. I mean, Derek White.
Hey, man, you got to... you got to enjoy the ride on the way there because it's
Oh,
not
I
guaranteed you're going to get a championship.
That's why
when your team's hot, you just got to ride it.
when the Vikings went like 13-4 that season, and I knew they were fraudulent, I was just like, I'm just gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna enjoy the Bills win. I'm gonna enjoy the Indianapolis comeback. I know they're not gonna do anything in the playoffs.
LeBron James just did like a slow motion somersault on his head.
I just saw that. Yeah, he's on a different level today.
Well, it's the Clippers.
Yeah, they're at home, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, not for long.
Yeah, home. All right, let's switch gears. Just quickly on college basketball. Your all's thoughts on court storming?
I like it. Did you see what Creighton did?
Hey,
Did you see? Yeah, you see what Creighton did?
No, I have no idea.
So Creighton, I don't know if it's Creighton or one of the teams in the Big East, they had security block off the UConn bench to allow the UConn players and coaches to get out safely. Unlike Wake Forest, who I guess they really weren't expecting to upset Duke because they were not ready at all for it. And yeah, Kyle Filipowski, he said they were going after him. Well, he walked into a dude because he wasn't looking and he wasn't trying to get off the court very fast. He just watched them all go. And
Well,
he's walking.
Is he playing tonight?
Yes, he played tonight.
Yeah, that ankle sprain must be really bad. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Chris
faker.
Mad Dog Russo went on a rant earlier.
I was going to bring that up. Bring that up.
That their football team stormed the field against Clemson this year.
Yeah, Duke's football team. Remember, they stormed the
guys,
field.
Yeah, come on, Duke. You can't.
Why are you complaining about this?
Yeah.
I didn't hear a peep from you guys back in, against Clemson. Now football obviously is much different. Players have the ability to. They have a lot more room to kind of get out of the way. You don't really have a lot of room to get out of the way on a basketball court. And obviously none of us have been a part of that, right? Never stormed a court.
Well, I mean, they should have security ready for it.
Well, I was at a game where fans stormed the field, but I did not storm the field because I was the team that lost. But this is a weird thing. I root for the Oregon Ducks. I rooted for them before I went to University of Arizona. It's just a family thing. And I was going to the University of Arizona as a student, and Oregon was number 1, and they got upset. It was like with Dennis Dixon, and all the fans of Arizona stormed the field. I was like, oh man.
Just gotta walk out in shame.
I can't. I was like, I can't run down there with the Oregon hoodie on.
I could see where there could be potentially a problem, right? But we haven't had a major problem.
Yeah, how long has court storming been happening? And this is like the first time really someone's been majorly hurt. Has there been?
Yeah, I mean
the Caitlin Clark thing. Yeah, that was just someone was just running. She looks like she ran right into her. It looked like Clayton Clark played chicken. It looked like they were playing chicken, and then they didn't. They didn't verge.
She did a flop too. She did the. Oh.
Yep.
Call the foul, ref.
So I don't know. I don't know what they can do, because like let's say you have an incident that happened just happened in the Cavs game, right? You're down 2, and the team that's not supposed to win heaves up a 60-footer and it goes in.
There's no students.
Yeah.
It's students that are doing it.
No. I'm saying translate what happened last night for the Cavs into a college atmosphere.
Oh, that would be awesome. I'd want to see that.
How can you prep with security for something like that. Like
You
that's
just
not
are ready.
expected.
Yeah, you should just be ready for it. You should just every game you should be ready for it, especially if you're the underdog. Like why can't you do that? Why is that so hard?
No, I agree. I'm in agreement that court storming should be a thing. I don't think it should be taken away.
Yeah.
They just need to beef up security. Beef up security around the away team. And be ready.
What about the kids on the court? Because you got 5 players on the court. You could protect the bench.
Yeah.
That's easier to do. Now, if it's a blowout kind of situation, you know, the team that's not supposed to win's up 15 with a minute left, you know.
So you have security there to stop the students from moving. No, you can't do that. They'll run over that fucking security guard.
Yeah. Drunken high.
I don't know.
Students.
This has been going on for like how long? Get the fuck out of the way. If you know you're about to lose and you see you lose, fucking run. Because you know you're gonna get fucking run over. Like,
well, see, here's like
what I don't know what Kyle Filipowski was doing. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Filipowski.
Yeah. A Duke bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think any of us like Duke here. So it's...
no, they're the unless you're a Duke fan, everybody hates Duke. I'm pretty sure.
And right? John Cryer was just classic. Wow, that guy he is a character. He looks like a caricature out there.
Yeah. I my only thing is during a game you are not allowed as a fan to touch a player. You get ejected. Right? Unless it's incidental. Obviously, if it's you can't intentionally touch a player. Right? With bad intent is what I mean. You can't like hit a player or push a player. You can't do anything like that. Why is it okay for you to then do it because the buzzer sounded?
I don't think it is. I think the players should be able to punch back. I think they should be able to fight back.
Right. So what happens to the fans? We have technology.
Yeah, just identify.
Are they banned for life?
Yeah. If they hit a player,
I don't think there should be. I don't think they should be. Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on what situation. You don't want to.
If it's a kid, 5-year ban.
You don't want a Palace of Auburn Hills thing happening again. You don't want that.
Yeah, just ban them from attending games again.
Yeah. Okay. I was just curious on your all's thoughts on that, but yeah. I think
unless it's a Duke player, and then there's no fines.
Duke's off off limits.
That's what college basketball is about, man. Is the underdog story.
Yeah.
You know, it's always been about that. That's what what makes March Madness so exciting.
Barstool had had the Storm Chasers. They go to games chasing these fucking storming the court. It's awesome. It's so much fun. I mean, that's probably was the best job they had ever. Is going to go storm courts. That's awesome.
All right. I'm only mentioning this because it was exciting for me to watch last night, but Kentucky on the road, ranked teams on the road this year have been awful against unranked opponents. And Kentucky actually went into this game as a 4-point underdog against Mississippi State. And they were down pretty much 6 to 10 points the whole game. And then halfway through the second half, they flipped it. I mean, it was just flipped at a drop of a hat. It was just completely turned on its head. We were actually up 8 points with under a minute left. In college basketball, that should be good enough to win a game. Nope. Couldn't stop the other freshman point guard on their team. Looked like Tracy McGrady and the Rockets when, he scored 13 points or what was it? Yeah, 13 points in 24 seconds. Something like that.
Yeah.
That's what this kid, Hubbard, did for Mississippi State. It just went nuts. just nuts. But luckily, we had Reed Shepard on our team, and his 32 points and the game-winning shot with half a second left won us the game. So, man, every unranked or ranked team going on the road against unranked competition this year has been a
pretty
struggle.
crazy. It's out of the ordinary. I mean, it's not always like that. It just seems like this year it's just really, really bad. But it's good. It's
And
great.
no, it's great for the sport.
Not great for your own team, but like great for the sport.
Yeah, like I just said, the underdog story, right?
Yep.
But luckily for my team and Kentucky, luckily March Madness is neutral sites, and we don't have to worry about going on the road. But that was just a fun game to watch, and I'm glad we actually won on the road. All right, Chad, I'm going to turn over to you for the UFL stuff.
Yeah. So we'll do a quick rundown of the new UFL, the rules that are kind of different from the NFL. Will be interesting to watch. I mean, if you don't even think you like the UFL, you can just try it out to see how these rules go. Because I mean, they might bring some of those to the NFL. So first off, we'll start with the kickoff. The kickoff. So the ball's placed at the 20 instead of the 35. So that's further to kick. A lot further to kick.
Yeah.
The ball has to go 20 yards for the kicking team recover. So like an onside kick has to go 20 yards, which is pretty crazy. And a kickoff out of bounds. What's up?
Near impossible. Sorry. I mean, it's impossible at 10 yards.
Yeah.
How are they going to do it at 20?
I don't know how. I didn't look up how far apart they are. The players.
Oh, okay. Might be something with that.
It might be something with that.
Okay.
Wow. So depending on how good your kicker's leg is, it might make more sense to just kick it out of bounds.
Well, a kickoff out of bounds, it'll be marked where the ball went out of bounds. Yeah. 30 yards from the spot. 30 yards from the spot where the ball was marked out of bounds. So, like, if they went out the 10-yard line, you get
never mind. I thought 30 yards. On the 30-yard line. I totally misread that. Yeah, that would be terrible. Never mind.
Yeah, so it's very offense friendly. Extra points, there's no kicking extra points anymore. There's 3 options. You can 1 point is a 1 point try from the 2-yard line, 2 point try from the 5, and a 3 from the 10-yard line. And these are all have to be either a pass or a run. Cannot kick. I think that'll be interesting.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Catching is kind of the same, but it just says completed catch is defined as a player securing control of the ball prior to the ball touching the ground. So if you get the ball and you get it with 2 feet, that's a catch. Not you have to survive the ground. Well, I think you do actually have to survive the ground. Hang on. Touching the ground, inbounds with both feet or any part of... Nope, just says that. Prior to the ball touching the ground. Yep. So as long as you have 2 feet on the ground, you follow the ground and you're good. Or they call catch. I guess if you are on the ground with the ball and someone knocks it out and you've caught it, I guess that's a fumble. I don't know how do you read it that way?
I wonder if Des Bryant can explain it.
He might be able to. Anyways, we'll move on from that one. Touchbacks all goes to 25. So punts included. And anything from when you punting, if it goes out of bounds between the 25 and the end zone, it goes to the 25. It's considered a touchback.
So no coffin corner.
No coffin corner.
So this league is killing kickers' jobs.
Yep, pretty much. Or
I hate place kicking anyway. But
yeah. So if you don't like place kicking, this is your sport. So in the fourth quarter, if your team is behind or tied, you can elect to retain possession of the ball after you score, with a 4th and 12 from your own 28-yard line. Now, this is an interesting one. So this is like, instead of doing an onside kick, you can do this. Very risky. Not easy.
Probably higher percentage than an onside kick with a 20-yard gap.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
trusting
yeah,
some
for
kicker's
sure.
randomness of kicking a ball versus at least your quarterback might be able to put it on
so-
the money.
If they don't get it, does the opposing team then get the ball from wherever the dead ball spot is?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. That's an interesting
Yeah, it's
one,
like
isn't it?
I like
better
that.
than I like that rule.
Yeah, I definitely like that better than the onside kick. That's another play that needs to be revisited
Yes.
in the NFL.
Needs to be fixed for sure. Forward pass.
Allow this to happen.
2 forward
make
passes
the
are
NFL
allowed. The ball cannot cross the line of scrimmage before the second pass is thrown. So if the ball is thrown beyond the line of scrimmage, you can't throw it back and then have another forward pass. So everything has to happen behind the line of scrimmage until the second time you throw it, and then the ball can cross the line of scrimmage. So you can like throw a forward pass to a receiver out of shotgun, run back, he can throw it back to you, and then you can bomb it down the field. Something like that. I've seen Madden
Play
plays
calling
like
is
that.
going to be crazy.
Play
in this.
hot potato with your running back and have him throw it.
Yeah. Defensive pass interference is only a 15-yard penalty or a spot of the foul if it occurred less than 15 yards downfield. So no spot of the foul unless it's less than 15 yards.
I like that.
Intentional DPI will result in a 15-yard penalty. So if you like intentionally like tackle a dude like on purpose, I guess that's pretty
Saints
subjective.
Rams,
That's pretty subjective though.
like Saints Rams.
Oh, Saints Rams, yeah, that would be 15 yards. Replay review, basically everything can be reviewed as long as the ball isn't put in play. They can be reviewed by the refs, but they only do for egregious errors or like a great impact on a competitive game. But they can review anything for safety. And so that's pretty different from the NFL, because right now it's just within 2 minutes.
Right.
Or turnovers, touchdowns and turnovers. So I hope it doesn't slow down the game with a lot of reviews, but it's done at an off-site facility.
Like kind of like a VAR thing for soccer. You know, they have the video assistant referee. They have that in soccer where they continue to let now soccer's different because the clock keeps ticking.
Right.
There's no dead ball, so there can still be playing going on in soccer, and the VAR calls down to the head referee on the field and says, "Hey, you need to go back and review this." So I don't know if it's probably similar to what the NBA has with, in Secaucus.
This will be someone off-site, and then they call the refs, "Hey, stop it, stop the game," and then then the refs will go review. So pretty much that, yeah. Coaches challenges, they get one a game. That's it, and they have to have a timeout. And if they lose their timeout. You don't get another one if you win. Just one challenge, which I think they should probably do one, and then if you win, you get another one, kind of like the NFL, because the NFL had this rule before, and then everyone got bitched up because they already used their one challenge. They don't have another one.
Mm-hmm.
So it changed. So I don't know if this rule will stay, but overtime consists of alternating attempts to score from the opponent's 5-yard line with no kicks allowed. It will be a best of 3 format until a winner has been determined. What do y'all think of that?
Too close.
Yeah, I prefer. I think the best overtime rules is college football. I feel like that's the most fair.
Yeah, but they changed it at the end to where like after the 2 overtimes, you have
now
just
you have to go for 2 points.
No, they just do 2-point conversions back and forth. I thought They did something
No,
stupid.
they score a touchdown. They have to go
Okay.
for 2. They can't kick field
which
goals
is
anymore.
fine. I mean,
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
that'll end the overtime faster.
I'd rather have them have that. The NFL should adopt that. Yeah, that's the major rules differences. We might see a little, or it's gonna impact the game a lot. And these may not seem like very big, but altogether, these definitely change the game for sure. So be on the lookout for that in the UFL starting at the end of March.
March.
Yeah, near the end of March Madness too. So I don't know how the ratings are gonna do on a Sunday during March Madness.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, not ideal timing. I mean, when it is ideal, you got March Madness, then Masters, then draft.
It's for all the people whose brackets get busted immediately. They're like, fuck this! I'm not
That's
watching
everybody.
this damn game
That was
anymore.
everybody last year for sure.
All right. So, this day in history, sports history, it's the first ever televised basketball game in 1940. It was actually a college game between Fordham University and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh won 50-37, and obviously the NBA was not created yet, so they still had a ways to go before they started, televising basketball games. But 1940 was the first time ever.
It's crazy that they had televisions in 1940.
Definitely black and white.
Yes,
I'm sure.
100% definitely black and white.
So they could do that game, but for some reason we don't have Wilt's game. All right, makes sense.
Yeah, there's no footage from the 100-point game.
Right,
Never
exactly.
happened.
Nope.
Disappeared.
I don't know.
Along with Obama's birth certificate.
Exactly. Yep.
Or so
All
they
right,
say.
y'all have any? Y'all have anything else you wanted to touch base on?
Michael, you got anything?
Just in the NFLPA rating grades. We didn't really talk about that, but interesting to see that the Kansas City Chiefs owner was the worst graded owner out of all of them. And then wouldn't you know it, the Los Angeles Chargers got like the shittiest everything else. What do you know? Our owner's a cheapwad, which is crazy. Probably because he mortgaged everything to get Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, well, hopefully that'll pay off, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
I got one last thing.
Sure.
Have you all heard the news about Cole Hardman? And how you remember how he asked the Chiefs to come get him, and then they came and got him. There's rumors going around that he gave away the offensive playbook or offensive plays for the Jets to the Eagles and to the Chiefs. And there's multiple players saying that they're not like outwardly coming out and saying it because
But
no
once
one
you
wants.
start getting that ball rolling.
Yeah, I mean it's an article on ESPN now. Like this is like they're like so. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what comes of it, if anything. I don't know. Hopefully not.
You gotta nip that in the bud real quick.
Yeah.
If you're him.
Yes. But I
gotta get a handle on that.
I think he's.
I don't know how you do it, but.
Yeah, a lot of them are. They're all digital for the most part nowadays. They all have them on their iPad.
Yeah, which means there's ways of them knowing, if you downloaded it or
I'm
what.
Sure,
whatever.
Yeah. There's definitely ways of them figuring out if it's shared or not.
So for me, we're 2.5 weeks away from Selection Sunday, guys. March Madness is right around the corner.
Can't wait.
I am so excited. 3 more scheduled games for Kentucky before the conference tournaments start. I am excited. Cannot wait for that. Looking forward to it. All right. Nothing else? We're good? All right. We will be back on Saturday. We should finally be back to full strength. And we will talk to you guys then. This was the 50th episode of the Two Guys, Two Seamen podcast.
50th.